I think I learned that adults, they might seem like they have everything together, but in all reality, we're all learning how to survive day by day.
Welcome to Ask the Girls, where real conversations grow up right alongside the girls who started them. Today's episode is a special one. Before college begins, we're sitting down with someone whose voice helped shape this podcast series from the very beginning, Yasmine Vick. Along with her sister Jaslyn, Yasmine helped launch some of our earliest and boldest conversations, asking questions about parents, relationships, and even whether the world was going to be completely off the rails. Now she's graduating high school, yay! And standing at the edge of a brand new chapter. So today isn't just an interview, it's a look back, a look forward, and a conversation about who we become when childhood meets adulthood. Yasmine, welcome back to Ask the Girls.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing since, you stopped moderating for Ask the Girls. You're a senior. Tell us about the high school and what your plans are.
Okay, so basically, ever since our last recording, um, first off, I have my license now. I
Whoa.
drive. Um, 6 months ago, I got a new job that pays well, and then also now I'm in senior year, so now I only have to take one credit online, and then also I go to the tech center, and then I also take college courses, and that's been pretty much it. Right now, I'm just getting ready for prom and graduation.
Wow. This is such an exciting time. Listeners, I know that you all remember those days when you were getting ready for the prom and it was your senior year of high school. So, Yasmin, how does it feel to come back to the podcast now as a graduating senior instead of one of our first moderators?
It feels pretty weird because it's like it wasn't that long ago, but it was that long ago. And then like I'm just like thinking about where I was whenever we were first recording versus now, and it's like two different versions of me, I guess. Like two different phases in life.
That's great. That's great. When you think about those early days recording with Jaslyn, your sister, what stands out most to you?
Um, how different my mindset was versus from like then from to now. Like it feels like I'm more into myself, I guess. Cause then I didn't really know who I was as a person, but now I'm kind of figuring myself out, especially with dealing with certain situations. I've grown to learn how to understand myself, I guess, like how I respond and stuff. And then also I feel like I'm having to make more adult decisions now.
Wow. What what recent adult decision have you had to make?
Um, well, recently I've been going to therapy and stuff so I can learn how to like respond to situations because um well, I could say like one of the adult decisions were being able to like have people tell me about myself and not be offended about it. Cause I was like younger me was kind of scared to hear that I wasn't perfect, I guess. Out
Oh,
of,
okay.
yeah, like out of fear of feeling like a bad person or something.
Mhm.
But I came to realize that I'm not perfect and sometimes I have to go back and just correct my ways and apologize and stuff and like respond in a healthy way instead of just
Wow.
avoiding the whole situation.
Wow, that's very mature. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Did you realize at the time that you were helping start something meaningful, or did it just feel like talking when you started Ask the Girls?
Honestly, it felt like something meaningful because once I started following God especially, I wanted to, like, spread the word and stuff, especially to people that are in my age, like, age group, because I know that a lot of us we really don't a lot of people really don't know God or about him. So I was hoping that it would get out to people, and the people that did have the resources to listen to it was shared to others and stuff.
Okay, okay. Imuna listeners, as you know, the new Ask the Girl moderators are middle school sisters, Shyla and Samara. They're from the suburb of Washington, D.C., here in Maryland. So, Yasmin, what surprised you most about hearing your own voice and opinions recorded?
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes whenever I listen to my recordings, I feel like during that recording, I let anxiety control too much of what I said, because then I'll be thinking back and I'm like, I missed like 2 different points I was gonna make in my notes. And it's like I only made 1 point and then I was stuttering on that 1 point.
Oh, okay. Well, let's kind of look back at some of those earlier episodes. You tackled some big topics early on, and I want to revisit a few of them. So, and I hope, listeners, that you will go back and find those episodes that we mentioned this time and just listen to what Yasmin says about then versus now. So you once discussed, oh my God, are we really like our parents? And you asked your mom in that episode about whether it was scary for her in making decisions. You remember that question that you asked her?
I think so, yeah.
Hmm. Um, do you do you feel a little different about that question now? Or you still pretty much would like to know that from your mom?
Yeah, a little bit, but I feel like I feel like it's kind of the I don't know, cause like, me and her, we've been talking a lot recently and stuff,
Mhm,
and being more vulnerable with each other, I guess, and, like, the question was, "Is it scary making decisions?" Right?
mhm, mhm,
Yeah, and not too long ago, I was talking to her about, like, me going to college and stuff, and I was well, first I was talking about, like, I felt like we didn't spend enough time together and stuff,
mhm, mhm,
and sometimes I felt like she had an opinion about me, and we got on this topic of, like, me going off to college, and she told me that she was scared for me because she felt like she sheltered us too much, and she was afraid that I would be caught up in something dangerous or, like, I wouldn't have my head on swivel, and, that's a big reason why she didn't want me to go to certain places for college because she was scared that I was gonna be in danger, so I feel like parents, yeah, they can overthink decisions too
mm,
or regret certain things that they've done.
mm. Yeah, yeah. You, your mom in that episode described what she thought was a good daughter, and she said she thought um, that a good daughter is someone who is herself, accepts herself, and is open to learning. Do you think that was a good definition of a good daughter?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Do you think you're more like your parent? You're more like your mom now than you realized back then?
Yes. Honestly, I didn't wanna believe that I was, but I realized in a lot of situations that happened recently and the way I responded to them, yes, act and respond like her. And then sometimes we'll be talking and she'll be talking about something crazy that happened throughout her day, and she'll tell me how she reacted, and now I realize that is the exact way I would react too, so,
What's one thing you understand about adults today that you didn't understand then?
today I realized that just 'cause, like, they're adults doesn't mean that they have everything together, and sometimes or most of the times they're still learning their way around too,
Mhm,
especially with the things going on in the world. It's like something new every day, and so just like, everyone has to adjust in different ways.
mhm,
And I feel like it falls on adults harder because they have to take care of their families and stuff,
mhm.
as well as themselves. So, I think I learned that adults, they might seem like they have everything together, but in all reality, we're all learning how to survive day by day.
Amen, amen. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Now, in another episode, Is the World Going to Hell in a Handbasket? This is where you really let parents have it. I don't know if you you remember this episode, but it actually worried me.
See,
You said most parents today don't try to take care of their kids. A lot of adults in my life don't live by that verse, Proverbs 22:6, the one
mhm,
about honoring your parents. If anything, they've been a bad role model. Adults are irresponsible, bitter, and evil. And then you concluded that God raised me.
see,
You remember that?
yeah, I remember that one. I can say, um, I can take back I can eat most of the words I said then, but I believe that there are some adults in my life that became like, they weren't reliable,
Mhm.
but I have to admit that my parents will my mom specifically, she's been one of the best people in my life
Mhm.
and been one of the most persistent people in my life, like, she's constantly just taking care of me, and especially, like, like, you know how people will just randomly take care of something
Mhm.
and that you needed to be taken care of
Mhm.
without them asking?
Mhm.
Yeah, like, she's that type of person, so, like, I can admit that I have people in my life that are, like, great and stuff,
Mhm.
but there is a lot of people in my family that need to do better, and I feel like they're just too stuck in their ways to do so.
Okay. Okay. Do you feel more hopeful or more realistic about the world now?
I feel more realistic. I wish I could be hopeful, but it's just, like, the news that happens every day is
Mm.
just kinda depressing, I guess,
Mm.
and
Mm.
then the way the world is responding to certain things, because I feel like some people are underreacting to a lot of the things going on today and the things that are being revealed, but I feel like it could be hopeful if, like, the younger generations will actually start like, speaking up. Like, I feel like we are in a way, but there's always gonna be that group of people that we always have to go against and all
Mm.
that, no
Yeah.
matter what generation.
Right. Right. And then the last one I wanted to look at is interracial relationships. Um, and then you in the 10th grade, you said, we miss out on blessings sometimes because God uses people. He uses things and people no one expects. We miss out on blessings because it didn't come in the box we expected it to come in.
Yeah, I believe in that
Yeah,
still.
that was pretty mature at the 10th grade. That was what,
Yeah.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
That was pretty mature. What did those conversations teach you about listening to different experiences?
Um, it taught me to stop thinking that just 'cause something doesn't look pretty doesn't mean it's not, I guess.
Mhm.
'Cause I feel like we judge before we listen or hear and stuff, and that kinda ruins connections in a way.
Okay, okay. And so now just looking back at your younger self, if freshman year Yasmin could see you now, what do you think she'd be proud of?
The lessons I learned, responses to those lessons, like the consistency in certain things, like even like for instance BPA. I lost last year and I went back this year, so
Now,
like
what's
not giving
BPA?
up. Business Professionals of America. It's
Uh-huh,
like a competition where you do different topics and stuff,
uh-huh.
and then you compete in those topics.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So you lost last year and then you did what?
And then I joined again this year. And I lost again, but I'm just glad I did it again instead of just like letting it get me down the first year.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I learned how to maintain relationships after experiencing toxic ones, I guess.
Mhm.
And then also how to walk away from certain relationships without leaving it with anger and bitterness and stuff.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. What would you gently correct or warn Yasmin about?
Um, I spoke a lot before I thought, so I would think before I speak.
Okay, and just to jump to, the next chapter, college and identity. As graduation approaches, what excites you most about college?
New connections, this being like the roadway to my future career. And then this is like opening doors for the things I've dreamed about doing, like becoming a therapist and wildlife research and all that stuff. So I can't wait for that. But mostly the social part, because
Mhm.
I can't wait to meet new people
Mm,
and stuff.
okay. So you're thinking of majoring in
Psychology and also art.
an art. Okay. That's wonderful. That's great.
Yeah.
And honestly, what scares you a little? We talked a little bit about that before we started taping.
Um, well, it's the social part scares me and excites me,
Mhm.
and then the financial part scares me, but I'm just like I'm just gonna trust God through it, I guess.
That's
Yeah.
all we all do.
Yeah.
Let's trust God. Yeah. Who do you hope to become in the next 4 years?
Um, I hope to become someone that people can rely on and also a representation of Christ because I say that I feel like I say that too like shallow sometimes,
Mhm.
but hope I become a genuine representation to other people and I can become a person that serves others with my life.
Okay, okay. How do you hold on to your values when everything around you changes? Especially when you're in a school and their values are different. It's one thing to be in high school where you're only there for a few hours and then you go home where everyone has the same values. But it's another thing to be living day in and day out among people whose values may differ from yours. So how do you
I
hold on to your
say
values?
I say like just know who you are as a person no matter what your environment is
Mhm,
because it's easy like for instance in high school by itself it's a challenge sometimes because I'm around people that some of their values I might not agree with,
mhm,
but I keep it respectful though, but I just decline that agenda or whatever,
mhm,
and I
mhm,
promote a healthier one,
mhm.
or I try my best to.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. What advice would you give future Esther Girls moderators?
Um, I say just take everything day by day. Um, do it even if it's scary. No matter like any decision, do it if it's even if it's scary. If it's a healthy decision.
Mhm.
And I just be patient with time, I guess.
Mhm.
But also don't waste time though.
Right. If you could leave one message for girls who are where you once were, trying to figure themselves out, what would you say to them?
Um, this sounds cliche, but it's really a everyday journey.
Mm.
Like it's not overnight and it doesn't end on a specific day. It's a constant thing that happens throughout life. And there's gonna be some challenging like situations to respond to, but you don't have to like respond right then and there. Just think about it and then like take steps to respond and all that stuff in a
Mhm.
healthy way. And it's okay to mess up. Like don't beat yourself up over the head about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So, in closing, I am going to ask you for one word, and I'm gonna give you a question. You answer it with one word. Okay?
Okay.
One word that describes this season of your life.
Evolving.
Great. Okay. One thing you're grateful for.
Do I respond with one word again?
One word.
Um, support.
Okay. And last, one thing you're still learning.
Mm, patience.
Patience. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great. That's great. Anything else before we close out that you want to say or, you know, advice,
Um,
comments?
not really, but I'm really thankful for the opportunity to be on this podcast and stuff. To like, this kind of gave me like a second voice in a way, so I can be able to reach others and possibly help them out, especially like younger people. And that's really it. I'm just really appreciative.
No. Great, great. Growth rarely happens all at once. Sometimes it happens conversation by conversation, question by question, and year by year. Yasmin, thank you for helping us ask brave questions when this journey began, and for reminding us that finding your voice is only the beginning of becoming who you are meant to be. Congratulations on graduation and on the next chapter ahead. And to our listeners, keep asking, keep growing, and keep the conversation going. This is Esther Girls.